Boy, oh boy, what a series for the Cleveland Guardians. What a series in general for baseball. This was a fantastic series by both teams. This series was exhilarating, gave you storylines. Tarek Skubal absolutely dealing. David Fry coming in big moments. Jose Ramirez having a big game last game. And some unlikely heroes showing up for both teams, surprisingly. Spencer Torkelson having a good game today. He had a couple of doubles. Brian Rocchio. Who would have thought Brian Rocchio would have had a good series after his lackluster regular season? Brian Rocchio being one of the best players on the Guardians is insane to me, but it happened. But this game, game 5, elimination game, after having your backs against the wall after Wednesday night, when everyone was bailing on the Guardians, the series is over. People were kept saying, after you get shut out on the road, game 3, 3-0, everyone, and I mean everyone, was down on the Guardians. Everyone. There were some who had faith. Some still had faith. A lot of people, though, were starting to tune out. Said the season was over. And then game 4 happened. Game 4, David Fry, Lane Thomas, Jose Ramirez, Brian Rocchio, Will Brennan, Kyle Manzardo, all doing their part. And you force a game 5 and another elimination game at home against the best pitcher in baseball in Tarek Skubal. And everybody, before the series started said, you cannot let this series get to 5 games. You cannot let it go to game 5 with Tarek Skubal having pitched against you twice. That can't happen. Myself included. I said that as well. I said you cannot let this series go 5 and face Skubal twice, because that gives the Tigers an advantage. He's the best pitcher in baseball. He's going to be the Cy Young winner. And today, the Cleveland Guardians showed up in a big, big way. Now, I'll admit, after the second inning, Guardians get 2 guys on, 1 out, runners at second and third. It might have been the third inning. I think it was the third inning. You get runners on second and third with 1 out, top of the order coming in. You get David Fry to strike out swinging. Then the Tigers intentionally walk Jose Ramirez. So the bases are loaded here. Bases are loaded. Lane Thomas. You think you have to get a run here. Off of Tarek Skubal, you have him in a jam early in the game. For me personally, I was thinking whoever scores in this game first is going to win this series. It's going to win this game. You have a great opportunity with bases loaded and 2 out. Lane Thomas has been a really good piece in this series. Already has 4 RBIs and a homer. And he pops them up. So you should leave 3 guys on base already. 3 are left on base. Then, I believe in the 4th inning, Kerry Carpenter hits a massive deep RBI single. If he had a functioning hamstring, that would have been an easy double. But the Tigers go up 1-0. Forgot to mention, too, Matthew Boyd gets the start, hits the first batter he faces, hits him, then proceeds to strike out 3 straight. He leaves the game in the second inning, after the second inning, only allowing 1 hit and striking out 5. I don't understand that move. And I'll get more into that with my reaction and my opinion about Stephen Vogt, okay? But Matthew Boyd gives you a solid couple of innings after having a little bit of a shaky start with walking a batter and hitting a batter. He settles in and strikes out 5, only allowing 1 hit in 2 innings. But the Tigers get a run. It's 1-0. And at that point, I was like, there's no way in hell that this team is going to win. This bullpen looks absolutely beat. They're worn out. They look tired. I mean, the command by everybody except for like Matthew Boyd and Eli Morgan looked spotty. Kate Smith was dealing. He became the first reliever in AL in Division Series history in the MLB to have at least 12 strikeouts. That's insane. He had some struggles later on as his pitch count was going up. He threw over 30 pitches today. Hunter Gaddis had a little bit of an issue with his command. He threw at least, I think, 25 pitches. Sobrowski, same thing. Tim Herron, same thing. I mean, command was not great for a lot of these guys today. But they still kept it a 1-0 game. And then you get to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 1-0. You get Andres Jimenez, Andres Jimenez gets on with a single. Then you get Brian Rocchio on with a single. Then you get Stephen Kwan on with a single. Oh no, I believe, was it 1 out? I think Stephen Kwan may have struck out, I'm pretty sure. But then David Fry hits a slow tapper in the infield. He gets on base. It's bases loaded, 1 out. And Jose Ramirez comes up to bat. He gets hit on the forearm by Tarek Skubal. And now this is where I think is this is where the tide turned of the game. But I originally thought this was the crucial run that the Guardians needed in order to win this game. So Jose Ramirez gets hurt. Bases are still loaded. Run comes in. It's a tie game, 1-1. And then you hear a little bit of a rumbling start. A rumbling. The stadium started to rumble. You're feeling it. There's a loud roaring sensation. Almost like a train. And then when it's too late, you hear the whistle and the steam start to pour out of that train. But it wasn't just the whistle of the train. It was the Progressive Field crowd, the Guardians fans everywhere around Cleveland and around the world, cheering as Lane Thomas smacks a 97-mile-per-hour fastball middle and launches it into the bleachers in left field. The Lane train came through to the station on time, and the whistle was every Guardians fan, myself included, jumping as high as we possibly could, absolutely losing our mind. Progressive Field was going absolutely apoplectic. I mean, some people were saying that it was louder than Game 7 with Rajai Davis's home run. Some people said it was about the same reaction as people had when Rajai Davis hit that home run over the left field wall on the home run porch. But Lane Thomas, the mid-season trade that many people were writing off because he had one of the worst hitting months, the month after he got traded here, was absolutely terrible. He was terrible. But he comes in here the last 2 months of the season. September, he hit 7 home runs and over 20 RBIs. And he comes into this game with a 3-run homer in Game 1, an RBI single in Game 4 that proved to be really clutch. And he smacks a grand slam in Game 5 of the ALDS against a division rival. He officially made that trade worthwhile in every single way. That home run right there got you over the top. And the Guardians did not look back after that massive grand slam. So they're up 5-1. Then the Tigers make it interesting. They get a couple of runs off a couple of doubles, some hard hit balls off of our relief pitchers. They make it 5-3. Then you get to the bottom of the 7th. Stephen Kwan continues his hot streak, his hot postseason. He's batting over 500 this postseason, by the way. I think he's batting 520, which is absolutely insane. He's tied for the second most hits in the division series history with 11 hits. He was 11 of 21 this division series, which is just insane, and which is what we needed to see happen after his horrible last 2 months. And I'm glad that the week or two that he got a rest to really reevaluate how he was approaching the plate and how he's approaching pitchers and how he was approaching his swing. I'm so glad that he's back to being the Stephen Kwan of the first half of the year that was batting nearly 400. He gets on base. David Fry, I think, struck out. But then you get Jose Ramirez to get a single into right field. That moves Kwan over to the third. And then Lane Thomas, once again, in that 4 spot, hits it to the second baseman, Colt Keith, bobbles it, gets an RBI single. Stephen Kwan scores 6-3, and the rest is history. The Guardians get another run in the ninth, or in the eighth, excuse me. Brian Rocchio gets an RBI in the eighth, and the Guardians win 7-3 against the Detroit Tigers. And Tarek Skubal, after Detroit newspapers said that the series was over after it was after game 3. It was the day of game 4. The day of game 4, the Detroit Free Press said, series is over. The Tigers have entrapped and enthralled the Guardians to play their style of baseball, the Chaos Ball. It's over. The Detroit Free Press said it was over. And the Guardians, after having an 11-game losing streak in elimination games in the postseason, after having not won an elimination game in the postseason since 1997, I think it was game 6 of the ALCS against the Yankees, the Guardians came back and they won 2 straight elimination games in the postseason. They broke that record. This team, if they can continue what the production from most of these guys in the lineup, if Lane Thomas can stay hot, if Brian Rocchio can stay hot, if Stephen Kwan can stay hot, if Jose can get the bats going a little bit more, if Andres Gimenez, who had 2 hits today, if he can start get it going, this lineup looks scary, man. If David Fry continues to be good in the playoffs, that's 6 hitters. That's 6-7 hitters. Brian Rocchio, he needs to get it going. I mean, really, or not Brian Rocchio, Bo Naylor, excuse me. The Naylor brothers, they're looking like the weaklings right now. And John Canty Noel as well. Now, the best part about this ALCS is that you can come up with a new roster. You can include more people you can swap people out to match up better with the Yankees, because the Yankees are going to be tough. They're going to be tough. Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, they're in leagues of their own right now, man. Aaron Judge he's going to be the AL MVP with an insane season again this year. But for some reason, I don't know why, in the playoffs, he's never that great against the Guardians, especially against the Guardians pitching. He's never that great. He can hit like a homer or two, but not as, he'll bat like around 120. I mean, so that's what his average is going to be. But I'm very curious to see how Stephen Vogt is going to come up with the lineup. But getting on to Stephen Vogt, again, after game 3, he made some really, really puzzling decisions. He took out Will Brennan before even Will Brennan had an opportunity to hit. He brought in David Fry in for Kyle Manzardo after Manzardo only had 1 at-bat. He put in John Kenzie Noel before Will Brennan had an opportunity to hit in game 3, and that turned out to be a really bad move. And AJ Hinch absolutely outclassed and outmanaged Stephen Vogt. Today, I kind of thought the same thing. Matthew Boyd was doing pretty decently. He had 2 innings, 1 hit given up, 5 strikeouts. Seemed really decent. I think if he kept Boyd in, Boyd may have had a double-digit strikeouts. I really do, or at least close to. But for some reason, I don't know if it's because Vogt thought the Tigers will have seen most of Boyd's stuff. I don't know. I haven't seen what Stephen Vogt has said after the game. But you take Boyd out after 2 innings and you go with the bullpen game. Now, granted, the bullpen looks shaky. So the bullpen has been used in a lot of different innings this series. And that's the one thing I'm kind of concerned about going forward with the Yankee series is just how much we've used the bullpen in this series against the Tigers. How are they going to fare out against the Yankees? Because it's not like football where you can get a week off. They're playing Monday, guys. They're playing Monday night. They're playing Monday at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Then they play on Tuesday night as well. So they're playing back-to-back Monday, Tuesday. And we used every single reliever we've had except for two, and that was Joey Cantillo and Gavin Williams, who I think because Vogt hasn't used them yet, I'm wondering if he's saving them for this series against the Yankees. But it's looking like now with the Yankees, I'll probably do a video previewing the Yankees series. I'll probably do a video previewing the Yankees series, and we'll get more into depth with that. And I'll probably have some of my buddies. I'll ask them if they want to join in with the preview video. But I'm curious to see how the rotation is going to look for this series against the Yankees. Because Garrett Cole, he pitched Game 4 against the Royals on Thursday. He won't pitch probably until Game 2, which will give him 5 days rest. So Game 1 is going to be they're not their ace. It's not going to be the Guardians' ace either. And we've seen that Boyd can hold his own in the playoffs. He's had 2 really strong outings. Bybee, he's been able to get out of a couple of jams. His command and his emotions have kind of gotten the best of him, but you can kind of rely on him. Alex Cobb, last time he went out there was okay, but again, he didn't pitch for over a month last time he was out there, so his command was a little bit off as well. If I'm Stephen Vogt, I would probably consider thinking of putting in Gavin Williams or Joey Cantillo to start Game 1. Or hell, even Ben Lively. I think Ben Lively can get a shot here. I would like to see what Ben Lively could do in the playoffs, especially in the ALCS. He had a really decent year this year. He had a couple of bad starts, but always found a way to bounce back. He was our most probably consistent starting pitcher this season. So I would be curious to see if Stephen Vogt can put him on the roster and maybe take off Alex Cobb. Maybe even put Cobb in the bullpen to see if he can get like an inning out of Cobb. I'd be curious to see what Stephen Vogt does with this rotation. Or does he just not touch the rotation and just keeps it as is? I don't know. I would like to probably see Ben Lively get an opportunity to start in place of Cobb. I don't know. But this series against the Tigers was one that we'll probably remember for a long time in Cleveland sports history, especially the Lane Thomas home run, this grand slam by Lane Thomas. It's going to go down in Cleveland memory. It's going to go down as a historic moment in Cleveland postseason history, regardless of what happens this season. And just the absolute energy that came out of that stadium was absolutely insane. The emotion by the fans, by the players, by the managers, everybody, every single piece of media I've seen from that moment is just so fantastic. And this is why playoff baseball is just in a league of its own. It's in a league of its own. Playoff baseball is something that I don't think any other sport can replicate in terms of the emotion that it can bring out, the the just the tenseness of the every single pitch means something. Every single pitch is could be either the make or break of a team. Could be the make or break of a season. And that just you can't get that with any other sport. You just can't. But this series will go down in memory in Cleveland as one of the greatest postseason series that we've seen. And luckily, the Guardians came out on top. They beat the best pitcher in baseball. After this, in the Yankees, the Guardians should feel confident that whatever pitcher they go up against, they've faced the best of the best. They've beaten the best of the best. Is Garrett Cole good? Yeah, but he's not the Garrett Cole of old. They're not going to. I mean, Jose Trevino, I think it's Trevino. He's not fantastic. He's great. He's good. He's not Tarek Skubal. Guardians should come into the series against the Yankees saying, we put up 5 against the best pitcher in baseball. We put up 5 on him. We hit off of him. We can go toe to toe with the best pitcher in baseball. We almost won game 2 against the best pitcher in baseball. We almost won. We can do this. And I think they're going to have that mentality going into this Yankee series, and hopefully when they beat the Yankees and go on to the World Series. But anyway, I'm so glad to talk about something positive in Cleveland sports and not the Browns. But we're going to have to talk about the Browns tomorrow after their Eagles game. I'm just so excited to talk about something positive in Cleveland sports. And the Guardians are just so fun to watch, man. They're just so fun to watch. And I miss postseason baseball. I missed it so much. And this team has some magic to them, man. This feels like it could be one of those years where the Guardians can finally do something. And I'm just so excited. I can't wait. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. If you like this type of content, if you want me to talk more about baseball, hit the like button, comment saying, hey, we'd like to see more baseball content. It's not normally my thing, but if you guys want more of it, I'll be more than happy to oblige. We'll talk more about the Browns tomorrow after the Eagles game. God help me with that one. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for your support over this week. I mean, we're close to 850 subscribers. We're close to 1,000. We're getting there. Hopefully by the end of this football season, we'll get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. If you know someone who likes Cleveland sports, would think that they would like this type of content, this channel, make sure to tell them, hey, check out Benchwarmer Sports. Hit the subscribe button. Follow this guy. I would greatly appreciate it. Anything that we can get to 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully we'll get there by the end of this season. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Go Guards. On to New York. Can't wait. Let's get it done, boys.